What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack of Productions. Today I have Bancroft doing once again, bring out another deck profile. But not just any deck profile, but my Stormfist Krillin deck profile. Like always, there's buttons down below, there's links in the description, check them out, let's get into it. Stormfist Krillin is one of those leaders that, when I first got into the game, I kind of fell in love with. I played yellow first, then I came across this promo leader, and I was like, this is really cool. It just has so much drawing potential, and because we're in between sets, really, I felt like just making a fun deck. And this is kind of what this is. When this card attacks a leader card, there we go, you may choose one card in your life, add to your hand. If you do, you draw one card. So very quick on Self-Awakening, and giving you the ability to just get a bunch of cards into your hand, which is kind of what the current meta is like. And then, when your life is for less, you switch one of your energies to active mode, and you flip this card over. Unlike all the leaders where it was like 2 energies or a hybrid, it's 1 energy just because the drawing potential on the back side or the awakened side. When this card attacks, you draw 1 card, and at the end of your turn, you draw 1 card. It has activate main, but I barely ever use it. You choose 1 card in your hand, placing it in the owner's drop area. When this card gains 5,000 power and crit for the duration of the turn. I don't like that as much because it's an activate main, and a lot of times your opponent's just going to negate the swing instead of potentially taking a 20k crit. Getting to the deck itself, really it's a mix between good blue and just what I wanted to go for. So starting with some good blue cards, we got Piccolo. It's a 3-cost card that you play for 2 energy, and on play you either give itself barrier or you play Pan, Glimpse of Talent, which we do play 2 of those, which on play draws you a card. It's a barrier, pretty much just a free combo card that you're pulling from your deck. That way you're drawing to cards you want to draw into. That's pretty much it. It's a dual attack, plays Pan or gives itself barrier. Really good for pressure blue. A card I want to kind of combo off as soon as possible is the Son Goku and Vegeta Immortal Rivalry. Mainly because once it's in your Z energy, you activate battle for 1 blue energy. If your leader is blue, and this card is in your Z energy, and you discard 1 card from your hand, you use up to 2 mono blue cards with 5,000 combo power from your drop, and use it in a combo with the skills negated for the turn. Additionally, if there are 3 or more cards in your combo area, you can play this card from your Z energy if you wanted to. But ideally, you just pay 1, discard a card, you combo the card you discard, and then combo another card from your drop area. Initially, giving your leader either a 10k combo for 1 energy using 2 cards, and one of those cards goes into your Z energy afterwards, or you can use it as a pinch to get up to 10k if you don't have it, say, a 10k in your hand. But it helps you kind of get the Z energy where you want it to be, and like I said, if you want to play it, you definitely can do that. When this card is played, you do draw 1 card, so it does have benefits for playing it. Cards we like to have plenty of Z energy for the SS Rose Goku Black. It's a double strike, and you can play this for 1 blue energy if your leader is blue, or is a Moss or Goku Black, and you have 3 or more Z energy, you play this card from your hand. So initially, once you get, hopefully by turn 2, if not by turn 3, you have plenty of Z energy. This card's coming out for 1 energy, and when this card is played, you draw 1 card, and you choose one of your opponent's battle cards. Energy costs 4 or less, and you place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. Really do like playing against decks that like to go really wide with this card, and then when they're swinging with me and say they're comboing up, I just pay 1 energy and then remove that card from the field. So, the card likes to be comboed with the Power Reclaim. Auto for 1 blue energy. If your leader is blue, when this card is added to your Z energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy costs 5 or less, place it at the bottom of your deck. The theme of this deck really is have good pressure cards and then have a lot of ways of just controlling your opponent's board during their turn. So you combo this off during your opponent's turn, and then you pay to 1 energy, and then get rid of another card afterwards. Does have an activate battle for 3 energy if your leader is blue. And your life is 4 or less, you can play this card from your hand. And when this card is played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. It is a triple attack for 20k. It does have deflect, so it's hitting the board. Now granted, some decks may be able to get around it because it doesn't have barrier, but it's still a good card to play or even put into your Z energy. Going to the next set of cards, I guess a couple of negates one got over real quick. Android 17. Really good against decks that go really wide. For 1 energy, you're negating the attack and you're playing this card. And then the auto is that if your leader is blue and your leader is a Z leader, you have 3 or more energy, or you have a Z battle card in play. When you play this card for the turn, your opponent can't attack with battle cards unless they choose 1 card in their hand and place the bottom of the owner's deck each time. So it just controls wide boards. If they want to continue attacking, their hands can get smaller and smaller. I did mention earlier, the current format, a lot of decks do draw a lot, so it does help kind of control their hand to some degree. Obviously, 4-dimension magic, just because it's blue. and 2 chills armature reinforcement. It's a good way of going down from 5 to 4 and give yourself a blocker. And like I said, the way I play this deck is really more on my opponent's turn, and a lot of times we'll just have 2 energy open just to make pay for this card instead. 3 Sensus because it's blue and the card's still good, especially if you're trying to play during your opponent's turn. For some counterplays, we play 2 Absolute Release Balls. The deck's going down to 4 life regardless, so this card is active right away. If your card is blue and your life is 4 or less, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 3 or less, return it to the owner's hand instead of it being played, then choose up to one of your blue energies, switch to active mode. So initially it's a free counterplay, which is really great. It does have a permanent. If you have a multicolored card in energy, and your life is 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying the energy. I do play a multicolored deck, so that will come in handy if I need to restand energy if I have to use a negate. 1 Baby Golden Avenger, just because you can't go wrong with that. And for board sniping, Dark Broly. I mean, it comes in handy. Super combos. 2 Vegetas and 2 Zamasus. Way of drawing cards and way of tapping down cards. Because this is a more focus on a blue-yellow arrival type deck, I do also play 3 of the Son Goku hit, primarily because of the permanent. If there's a blue-yellow multicolored card in your energy, reduce combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. I'm definitely charging a blue-yellow card, so this is just a 5k combo, which goes with some good arrivals, just like Zamasu. Some cards that I like to play. This one necessarily doesn't have a rival, but it doesn't activate battle to play itself, which is pretty great. Son Gohan and Piccolo. It is a dual attack. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and if your opponent has a battle card in play, this card gets 5,000 combo power. So initially, its first attack is a 24, which is pretty strong. The activate main for 1 blue or 1 yellow. If your leader card is blue or yellow, and you have 3 or more blue and or yellow cards in your combo area, you play this card from your hand. And kind of touching back on that earlier card of the Goku Vegeta, it's just a really good way of kind of building that up if I need to go that route. Then the activate main with the turn. If you have 5 or more Z energy or 2 or more Z battle cards in play, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 3 or more, ignoring barrier, and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. Just another way, like I said, it's cheap to play and control the field a bit. A lot of times, actually, this is my first card to charge, truth be told. But hey, once you have a blue-yellow energy, we have cards that just ignore energy exhaust, like 2 of the DBS and 3 of the counterplays Zamasu. In this case, Zamasu kind of serves as 2 purposes. It's either a counterplay or it's just going to be a charge target for me. And 1 more negate. I do play an SS Rose Goku Black. It's negate the attack. You play this card just for 2 energy. But when this card is played from your hand during your opponent's turn, you can choose one of the effects. Either if your opponent has 3 or less energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, place it in their energy in rest mode. That one I'm not going to use too much. But if your opponent has 2 or more energy, you choose 2 of your blue energy and switch them to active mode. So it's initially just a free negate, and then I still have energy to do whatever I want during my opponent's turn. And truth be told, the main purpose, if like the Piccolos aren't kind of getting enough hits, the Piccolo Gohans aren't getting enough hits in there, I play 4 of the Kelpha. It's blue-yellow, most likely expecting it display. Arrivals 2 blue, 1 yellow. It's double strike, it's blocker. When this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier. Place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. Activate main. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you choose 1 card in your hand, you discard it. This card gains dual attack and for the turn. And if the card you discard with this skill is a copy of this card, you draw 2 cards, choose one of your opponent's cards, and switch it to rest mode. So, it can come in handy. It's really kind of the go-to for this deck. Just like I was having a little bit of fun time when I was making it. And originally, the secret I was playing in when I was doing a lot more testing was Hatch, but I've actually taken Hatch out, and I'm going the route of Son Gohan. People in my locals kind of convinced me this may be a better option, especially the fact that I'm playing all my cards during my opponent's turn. I do have a lot of negates in a way of kind of controlling my opponent's attacks. So potentially once I've established a board during my turn, then I can use Son Gohan. So for activate main for 2 blue, if your leader is blue and you have 3 or more energy, and you place 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck, which is, like I said, this deck draws a lot, play this card from your hand. Activate main /battle. Once per turn, choose choose 2 of your cards, switch them to active mode, and if you switch this card to active mode by this skill, it gains crit for the turn. So initially, this card's a dual attack, so you swing with it, activate battle, restand it, now it's a 40k crit, and then you can swing with it again. If you restand energy, you can use the energy for anything else you want to use it for, or even just restand your leader if you happen to activate the main on top of the leader, giving it crit, so potentially having four crit attacks. But when this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and unisons, ignoring barrier, return them to the owner's hands, and if your opponent has more cards in their hand than you do, place 1 card from your opponent's life to the bottom of their deck, and potentially where they're at in the game state, that may just win. So, that is the deck. Kind of quickly go over the Z deck. Play 2 of the Krillins because it is yellow. It's a way of protection, it's blocker. If my opponent wants to snipe that card out, they wasted a card in my opinion. It's fine for me. 1 Oolong, just because we do play a little bit of yellow. 1 SS Son Goku Awaken Onslaught. Place 1 of your Z energies on a drop area at the end of your turn, remove this card from the game, then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost 5 or less, and place it on the deck. Like I said, it's just controlling the board primarily. 1 Beerus, just another way of removing cards from opponent's board. Sell, and then I added in 1 hit. It's a deflect blocker, but what makes this card really good for this deck is the Kefla itself. So auto, if you have 3 or more energy when this card attacks or activates blocker, use up to 1 blue-yellow multicolor Universe 6 card from your drop, and a combo of its skills and get it for the turn. And at the end of the turn, switch up to 1 of your energies to active mode. So pretty much you swing this card, you combo a multicolor U6 card, which boom, Kefla works for it. And then at the end of your turn, you switch this card to active mode, so you can turn around block with it otherwise. So pretty much if I play Kefla during my opponent's turn, and then on my turn, can play 2 for the hit. And then the Kefla I'm activating main the discarding, that can be comboed with the hit. And just do a quick touch base. 2 East Kai, just because controls my opponent when they play cards. 3 of this Android 17, 18, primarily just a unison. If I wanted some extra pressure, it works out great and can potentially be a dual attack down the road. For sniping cards, obviously Black Smoke Dragon. If I needed the extra counter, I don't know why the winner's in my sideboard, but it is. For unisons, 2 Absolute Confidence with 1 Trio of the Dangers. And then just kind of round things out with a Jaren in case I play a blue mirror match and they're trying to go the long game. Another Dark Broly if I feel like I need sniping. And then 2 Dirty Bursts for decks I like to play tall cards. So overall, like I said, I'm having a lot of fun playing this deck again. This is just my fun take on it I've been playing for the last couple of weeks. Hope you all enjoy it. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below. Links in the description. Check them out. Thanks. Bye.